one time for the city. Yeah, same aura as before. The smoke got blowing orange laws, meaning you pursue at your own cause. Last of a breed to do it how we was taught. Gods in the rafters covering you.
All right, here we go, man. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Saturday night. I'm tight tonight, man, because the New York Knicks have lost their third in a row. This time to the Philadelphia 76ers again. And this time, no, not this time, for the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth time, the defense was non-existent. The Knicks get washed tonight, 130 to 119. And tonight, once again, belonged to one Tyrese Maxey, who owned the night. He dropped 30 on the Knicks just a couple weeks ago in the Garden. So what do the Knicks do to top that act? They give him 36 more. Unbelievable performance by Maxey, who was toying with the Knicks the entire night. They let Embiid run up the score on him at the end. Wasn't pretty, wasn't gritty. It's getting downright ugly right now. And as the Knicks look forward to Detroit on January 5th, they got 2 days to get their act together, because right now it is looking absolutely horrendous on the defensive side of the ball, man. Call me up on the KFTV Discord. See me, the Fanchise, Alex Trataros on the ones and twos. Like, share, subscribe. I'm aggravated, man.
You have every right to be aggravated, bro. This game was... Bro, it's the same thing you keep talking about all the time. Speed and athleticism is just a killer for this team. And you know, I'll say this, and we'll get into it later. Josh Hart is certainly missed right now, man, in this rotation.
Listen.
For some of you that take this man for granted, he is surely needed, man. We need some grit out there.
The grit is gone. They're looking soft. They're looking flabby and sick. They're looking slow, lethargic. No energy, mental lapses left, right, and center. And not even the defense. I mean, how about just throwing a ball all over the place?
Jeez, man.
What are we doing right now?
Nothing.
I mean, talk about a slump. This is brutal. And you're right, man. Speed and athleticism kills, and this is why I was concerned about this game, second night of a back-to-back. This is probably, of all teams in the league right now, this is probably the last team you want to see on the second night of a back-to-back.
And we got one more with them out of the four.
And on second night of a back-to-back.
Yes.
You know, they want to play the proximity game, but you know what? You play who's in front of you, Alex. And tonight, you want to talk about so many ways they got carved up tonight. Whether it was effort in not closing guys out, the lapses, the mental lapses, going below screens on Tyrese Maxey, drop coverage against Tyrese Maxey. 1 minute, is Cap and Clarkson, are we playing zone, we play man? We got guys putting two on the ball with Quentin Grimes, leaving Tyrese Maxey wide open. The same screen. Whether it was the double screens at the top of the key or the simple Embiid screen, Max either gets him in the drop coverage, whether it's Towns or Mitch, or he sees Cap, whether it's Cap, Deuce, doesn't matter. They're all getting cooked. Give credit to Maxey. He was fantastic tonight. One of the best offensive performances just in terms of versatility and bag that I've seen against the Knicks this year. You let me know what you think. But he was fantastic. And then on top of that, Al, to add insult to injury, you gave up 52 points to Edgecombe and Embiid, who killed you. Paul George taps on another 15. They shoot 47% from three. I mean, this thing is leaking all over the place, bro.
It is so frustrating, man. This is just so frustrating. Because this is the thing, CP. 3 games. This 3-game losing streak, it has been the same thing over and over and over and over again. And the speed and athleticism about the youth, It's there between all these teams. The Hawks, Spurs, Sixers. They all got it, man. They all got it. They got the wingspan. They got everything that is the kryptonite to the New York Knicks. But on top of that, you don't do yourselves any favors whatsoever when you can't guard the three. And that's the thing that's been happening for these last 3 games. They're not guarding the three, man. They're not guarding whether it's Champagny, whether it's the Hawks, whether it's the Sixers. It does not matter who's in front of these guys, man. We just allow everybody to look like Steph Curry out there and Klay Thompson. It's disgusting. I saw a lot of tweets saying Mike Brown's got to figure it out. Yeah, he could create a new scheme where guys are just guarding the perimeter. But you know what also needs to happen? Guys need to be aware of what's going on the court. Like, do you really need a coach to tell you, hey, man, maybe we should not let Tyrese Maxey go off for 3? Maybe we should not let Justin Champagny go off from like, if you need a head coach to come out there and be like, yo, let's not have this happen, I don't know what to tell you, man. Then the IQ of the team is just down the toilet. But there's more to it, man. There's more to this thing because you can talk about the plays, everything, but it's just a kryptonite, man. We do not have guys that can keep up with the speed and the athleticism of that. That's just period, man. And when you have a backcourt that is Maxey, Edgecombe, Grimes, and McCain hasn't even really got started.
Hasn't really been doing it.
He hasn't done anything yet. He's just coming back from injury. He's still trying to get his footing in the league. And look, Grimes went 4-10, got his 10 points tonight. But still, like, his speed, his ability to get downhill, his ability to just, like, cause chaos. Like, when you have all 4 of those guards, like, there's no stop for this team. And you can have Deuce McBride, best perimeter defender that we got on this team. But you need effort from Bridges and you need effort from OG too, man. These guys are getting cooked. They're getting flambéed. There's no resistance.
They're getting cooked. You know, Brown went with the desperation move and blitzed them late with OG and Towns, put 2 in the ball to try to just disrupt a little bit of rhythm. Seemed to be all for naught, maybe a little bit too late. But the coverages were just embarrassing, man. Like I said, it was just absolutely embarrassing. Just from the simple, Embiid 2-man game with Maxey and Embiid. Could we see some more of that with Jalen and Cat? I digressed. Or the double screens where he would either get to Jalen, get to the Knicks bigs and drop coverage again. And the impressive thing about Maxey is that, number one, you could see how much stronger he's gotten. Mm-hmm. And Coach Crean, that was one of the things he talked about on his first episode with us, was about contact balance. And he was talking about that in particular with the bigs, and at the time about like Julius Randle, like how he's a guy who maintains that balance even playing through physicality. Like, you see that with Tyrese Maxey, man. I mean, bro, that for a guard, man, like that was some of the most impressive Arsenal I've seen. And then on top of that, the way that he's able to process while still going 100 miles per hour is insane. That is absolutely insane. So, tip your cap where it's due, because there wasn't anybody stopping him tonight. But I think it just, from even like just seeing how disconnected they were, it's an issue and it's a concern. And once again, you're going into Detroit on Monday. You're going into the belly of the beast on Monday against the number 1 team by record in the East, who's also athletic, with speed, with toughness, with physicality. And by the way, they're circling this matchup, ready for you. Ready for you.
If the Knicks are not ready for Monday, it could look ugly, man.
This is the same type of situation. Guard play, athleticism, paint points, rebounding, offensive rebounding. Where are they at in offensive rebounding this year? They might be second.
Let's see where the Pistons are in offensive rebounding right now. The Pistons are third, above the Knicks.
You're coming up against a scrapper who's ready for you on Monday in their building. So the Knicks got some soul searching to do, man. But the defense tonight was an embarrassment. Cat comes back. Embiid got him. You want to argue? I'd politic for him to get the calls. I always politic for him to get the calls. I don't think he gets the respect, but yet and still, you can't let it get to your game. I thought it was a tough one for him tonight. You can't let that get to his game. But I also think we got to get him in more advantageous situations, man. He's working too hard for his offense. And especially in that second quarter, I put a tweet out there. You know, it was Deuce, it was Clarkson, it was Cat. I think it was like McCall and somebody else. I was like, yo, this unit needs a point guard, man. And that's where, as you said, even Josh is missed in that regard. Because he's a guy, when the shots are not falling, can you get a transition coast to coast? Can you get a guy that's just going to, you know what I mean, go for it all in the half court and try to make something happen? We didn't have that out there. So I'm like, damn, like, if Josh ain't out there, you got to put Kolek out there. Like, we're just not getting any rhythm right now offensively.
There's no rhythm, CP, and that's the thing. Josh Hart brings that aggression. He brings that, like, outside of JB, who also brings that aggression. You need somebody who's not afraid to get paint touches, kick out, and that's what Josh Hart provides. This is the thing about Hart, man. He does a little bit of everything, but the little bit of everything he does at, like, a really good level, where it's like you talk about needing more rebounding. We're missing the rebounding, man. We're missing those back-breaking rebounding. I was talking about it with CK yesterday. There's just nights where it's just like some guys can get boards, but then there are other guys who just like come out of nowhere. They grab a board, they extend the play, and then it just is an emotion shifter against another team, man. Josh Hart can do that just like Mitchell Robinson, and you're missing that type of stuff. You're talking about just getting out of transition, as you mentioned, like a one-man band, man. Dude, the Knicks, like, they don't, like, they did a good job getting transition points, but there's just something about the way Josh Hart does it that is just like, you just have to be prepared. You just have to be prepared. You have no idea when he's going to do it and what he's going to do. And then on top of that, like, he's gotten better as a shooter. I know everyone wants to talk about, oh, well, you know, he's a little afraid. He doesn't want to take shots. But everything else that he does is really good. And then defensively, he's not a lockdown defender. I'm not going to say that. But that aggressiveness, that lack of, that fearlessness, I should say, that fearlessness of he doesn't care who's in front of him. He's ready to compete. That we're also missing a slight edge on too, man. Because, you know, if he was in front, if he was guarding Maxey, Edgecombe, one of those guys, Grimes, like, yes, they're going to have the speed on him, but he's still going to fight. He's still going to, you know, use his physicality. And let's keep it a being. Like, if you're battling like that and someone's constantly throwing their weight at you, knocking you off your block and all that type of stuff, it wears over time, man. Yeah. And that's the thing that we're not having at this point defensively, is somebody who plays physical that just causes the guy to get tired. How many times do I have to watch Tyrese Maxey just fly around a screen, get wide open, and then no one's touching him, man? No one is giving him a bump to just throw him off his trajectory. And it's just you need that, man. And that's where Josh Hart is surely missed. These times where you don't have him, where you don't have another creator out there. And the thing about this too, CP, is that you talk about, oh, we need another point guard, but it's like, whether he's with Brunson, whether he's with Kolek, whether he's with Bridges, like, you always at least have two guys that can initiate the offense, if not three. And that's the other thing of why that offense was humming, man, is that you had three guys that can initiate the offense at any given time. What's happening? But now without him, Brunson has to work harder to get the offense going. And it's just a trickle-down effect in all other aspects of this team, man.
Well, and also speaking of working harder to get the offense going, look at the turnovers tonight. Look at the turnovers. And some of these was just downright sloppy and just laziness. You know, they were passing the ball with not moving, and Philadelphia does a great job. They're fast, they're quick. They can get from sideline to sideline. And so the Knicks had 16 turnovers, and I led to 25 Philly points. I thought the passing was an abomination in terms of just the decision-making. But I also thought that Philadelphia did a good job, when a lot of teams do when they expose the Knicks, is with ball pressure. Because with the ball pressure, you put the pressure on the Knicks' ball handling, which is average. Right? You'd agree, right?
Yeah,
pretty
I
average.
agree with that. Yeah.
They don't have that. And so when you close off their airspace, which is what you could expect to see in the playoffs, it gets tight. Especially because if the threes ain't falling, they're not going to get downhill on you like that. That's when things get tight. That is where you need a Hart to come in and kind of mix things up and mix up the momentum. So that's where I was like, okay, we probably need to put Tyler in here, even though he struggled against Philly in the first go round. We needed a guard to kind of, get those paint touches, man, get the defense scrambling a little bit. And I thought Tyler did a pretty good job in his minutes in the limited minutes that he got. But there's a challenge for Brown, right? It's how do you manage the Deuce, Clarkson, Kolek minutes? And right now, Tyler's on the outside looking in. You're going to go with Deuce because you want to get tougher, you want to get more physical. So, again, is it Clarkson? Is it Kolek? It's between those two guys for me, Al, where Brown has to kind of make a decision. Because, it's nice to be playing everybody and everybody, equal opportunity. But also, he's getting kind of caught up in the middle. Like DOR not getting that many minutes, and now Yabusele getting minutes. The rotation kind of looked a little clunky tonight, man.
Yeah, and I think he's just looking for that guy who could be like that Josh Hart, unfortunately, man. The thing is that we have to rely a lot on the offense, and the thing about offense is that it can come and go. Even though this Knicks team is so potent offensively, and let's even look at tonight's score, man. They put up 119 points. Like the Sixers put up 130. You're looking for defense at this moment. We have enough scoring, even for how lackluster it was to a degree. Like just the fluidity of it. Like they still got their numbers. They shot 40% from downtown. They shot 43% from the field. The numbers look great, but when you watched it on TV, you're like, look choppy, man. It looked choppy, and choppy. So. It's just you're looking for that. You're looking for defense at this moment, and out of all the guys that we have, man, there's not enough guys that can provide you that. So this is why, once again, I'm saying Josh Hart is missed, because when you have the trifecta of Wingstop, that's when it's at its peak. But when you miss any piece of them, whether it's OG, whether it's Hart that we're seeing, and look, I know some people don't like Bridges and how he performs too, but if you don't have Bridges either. If you're missing one of those three guys, man, it's not easily to replace. So we need all three of them to be healthy. This team just needs to be healthy, man. Even with the depth that they have, it's still top. What we're learning right now as the season progresses is that it's still heavily reliant on this starting five from last season. That you need all these guys healthy no matter what, because that is what this front office had the vision of, is that we'll have enough defense on the perimeter, we'll have enough offense between Brunson and Cat, and as long as these guys are still healthy and in there, we can get enough. But we can get by enough defensively with using Mitch, McBride coming off the bench, and we can figure things out.
So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. Knicks get embarrassed at the Garden. Let's talk about it. Call us up on the KFTV Discord. 130 to 119. It can't always be roses and rainbows. We had the 100K celebration. It ain't always like that, ladies and gentlemen. These are the nights when you earn the 100K. You know what I'm saying, Alex? These are the nights in the 82-game season where the rubber meets the road. Who's showing up to work? Me and Alex. That's right. But the Knicks
always
ain't.
here, baby.
But
always here.
The Knicks ain't show up to work. So we're trying to figure out what's going on. Because we got a big game on Monday, man. It's time to tighten up. Let's hear from the Knicks coach, Al. Hear what he had to say about this one. 130 to 119. They got washed. Here goes Mike Brown. Here we go.
Obviously, we didn't play our best basketball, but you got to give Philadelphia credit. They played a really good basketball game. I tell you, Maxey was early on. VJ was a handful for us, and then late. Maxey was a handful for us, and we tried to take the ball out of his hands. They did a great job of moving the basketball versus our blitz. And when we tried to get the ball out of his hands and somebody else made plays, they hit some big threes on the backside of it. And they got layups and or ducks out of it. And, that's what you have to do. If you try to take the ball out of somebody's hands, you're going to give up something. You're going to give up something else. And they made the right plays or made the right shots when we did take the ball out of his hands. So, again, give them credit. But first time all year we've lost three in a row, so we're in a in an area that we're not used to. We've hit a little bit of adversity. I've never been part of a team that that has not gone through adversity throughout the course of the year, whether we won it at the end of the season or we were in the finals, or we had a halfway decent season. Every team's going to hit it. And now for us, it's about how do we respond, how do we come out of it. And this is a great opportunity for us to see what we're made of while we're going through this stretch.
All right, Al, your thoughts on the coach's comments there, man?
I agree with him, man, that you got look, they finally hit a point of adversity. You need adversity through the season. You can't just go untested. You can't have your emotions not tested, your physicality not tested, any part of the game not tested, man. So it is much as frustrating as it is to watch this team after they had, look, let's keep it real. They had a soft part of the schedule to start the season. Now they're getting into really the meat and bones of what this season is, man. Facing against the Spurs, the Hawks, the Sixers. You still got the Nuggets on the way. You got the Thunder on the way. You got the Pistons on Monday. Like, this is really where it's going to push this team, even dealing with all the injuries that they're dealing with. Who are they? What is their character? You know, we had Eric Spoelstra say that this is a tough team to kill. Well, let's see if it's a tough team to kill against a team like Detroit, who has circled this. Like, there's no way they have not circled this matchup. They are still thinking about that postseason and how Brunson ended that for them, all right, on Thompson. They're coming to this matchup looking to win. And so this is going to be a great test for the Knicks. Are you going to go into a 4-game losing skid? Or are you going to come back with the injuries that you're dealing with? Who knows if Josh Hart returns? I know he's going through light work right now. But if he's not there, are you going to overcome that adversity, not having your guy, and still go out there and win, man? So let's see it. Let's see if they can do it, man. It's the only way that's going to build character and get them ready for the postseason.
I like the adversity. I like it. I do. You know, am I aggravated tonight? Absolutely. You know, it is one of those nights, especially after last night against the Hawks. Give credit to the Hawks. They did play a good defensive game, and they outsmarted the Knicks for sure in many regards. I thought 2 nights in a row now, Mike Brown has gotten outclassed. Let's just be real. So this is an adverse situation. I do like it for this team. It does build character. We know what this team needs to do to get to where they need to get to, and that is be far better defensively than they have been in these past couple of weeks, man. It's been bad, especially since the NBA Cup. And here's the stat from Ian Begley. It says Knicks fall to 2-3 since Josh Hart went down with an ankle injury. They have given up at least 125 points in 4 of those 5 games. Atlanta, the lone team that didn't crack 125, had 94 through 3 quarters against them. So, you know, it's one thing where if it's a physical limitation, guys are shooting over them, okay, fine. But for me, man, you can't have the miscommunication lapses that they have, whether it's in the half court or it's in transition. It is bad. It is bad. And the transition play of the game, again, give credit to Philly because their backcourt might be the fastest backcourt in the entire league. I don't think you'll find a faster backcourt.
It's by far the fastest.
By far. If you put these two guys on a 40 against anybody else, they're winning by a mile. Bro, the play that Edgecombe made, blocking Bridges on one end.
Oh, my God.
Flies out of bounds. He's damn near halfway to the Delta Club. And then comes back down, beats everybody down the court, and slams it. That's all you need to know about the Knicks defense and the state that it's in right now. Hell of a play by Edgecombe. Unbelievable. But, whoa, that was insane, bro.
Talk about snatching your lunch money right out your hands, man. And that would, if I'm anybody on the Knicks, I'm embarrassed, and you should be infuriated when you see somebody do that, man. That should have just sparked something, man, to get everybody going, saying, "Yo, we gotta tighten up, we gotta get ready, man," because you're getting punked by a rookie. You got punked by a rookie, man. And look, I like Edgecombe's game. To me, he's more the rookie of the year. Just the way he's been playing, man. He's coming in here looking like he's been in the league for 5 years. But that when I saw that play, I got up. I had to walk. I had to go get a glass of water. I was like, this is not.
That was it. That was it. I had seen enough. And the thing about Edgecombe that's scary is that, number one, his athleticism is off the charts. His jumper is at a rookie scale. I think it's good. His pull-ups are nice. And then you can see that killer instinct in him on both ends of the floor. He has that 48-minute motor. That's a dangerous combination, especially with what Maxey's carrying with him. They've got a bright future ahead of them, but for the Knicks, man, this was an absolute nightmare, and they've got some soul-searching to do, and they better do it tomorrow on the flight to Detroit. They better get it together, man. Let me shout out a super chat. We got a $100 super chat from the rhyme animal Chuck D. Al. He says, JB Bickerstaff, Nick Nurse, Tatum and Brown, Spider, Mitchell, Garland and Mobley, RJ IQ, Jared Allen, Joe Mazzulla, the entire Sixers team, Quentin Grimes, Cade Cunningham, Tobias Harris, Beef Stew, Jalen Duran, the Thompson twins, always Trey Young, all want vengeance. It's time to wake up. Shout out to the rhyme animal Chuck D. I got to throw another. That was some heat right there. It's time to wake up, man. It's time to wake up, man.
Time to wake up indeed. Throw a hashtag P in the chat if you haven't done so already. Shout out to Chuck, man. Always appreciate the support. But yeah, man, this is, and look, Chuck said at the beginning of the season, this team just has to be focused, man, on a nightly basis. And even tonight, even losing how they lost to the Spurs earlier this week, man. Like, they had that game, they just let go of the rope. You look against Atlanta. Offense just didn't show up. Defense didn't show up. Tonight, offense was, on paper, decent enough. But where's that defense, man? Like, this is the attention to detail that was an issue last season that's coming back to bite them in the butt right now this season, where, yo, if you are going out there and you know who you get the scouting report, you see what's going on, man. Like, how are you not prepared to go toe-to-toe with a team like this that's ready for speed?
They got some soul searching to do, man. There, KP Go. Shout out to you. $10 super chat. Al, we're gonna get to the calls in just a second. Shout out to the super chats first. Says it's simple. These teams are now getting physical with us, and we're all doing and all we're doing in response is flailing our arms and crying for calls led by Cat. That's not Knick basketball. And yeah, I did mention that to say, like, Cat did come back tonight. It was a tough night. I agree with him that they were pushing him around and he was not getting the respect. He rarely does, but you just have to channel your energy in a different way that doesn't impact the team. So, that's just Cat's thing, and that's what they're going to need from Cat. He's got to be better, point blank period. He just has to be better, and he was not tonight. But here was Brown, as their KP Go mentioned the physicality. Here was Mike Brown, Al, speaking more on that type of game, the type of style tonight. Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was Ian Begley asking about point of attack defense on the perimeter and what the Knicks should be doing.
The biggest thing is right now, we want to be physical defensively. And as you can see, guys are up in us. We try to run a DHO, and they're getting in our bodies and blowing it up, or in any dribble handoff, even pick and roll situations, they're up in us, and we're not able to come off a pick and roll and turn the corner and get downhill. So defensively, we want to do the same, but right now we're not as physical as we should be at the point of attack. We're not navigating the ball screen like we should be at the point of attack a lot of times. And then when we do, we're picking up a foul here or foul there and sending guys to the free throw line. So our physicality as well as our shifts have to be better so that we can help protect that paint a little bit more.
All right, Al. There's Mike Brown. Not physical, not navigating the screens well. All has an impact on their shifts, man. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this is not breaking news, man. We know that the point of attack defense has been weak. This is just kind of the issue too. Teams are just getting down into the paint, and then they're spraying it out, and then just generating wide open threes, man. And it just exasperates the issue when you have guys like Maxey and Edgecombe who not only can get downhill and cause the defense to collapse, but are versatile in finishing and then also kicking out as well. So it's like it's a pick your poison type of thing. But tonight, when you have a guy like Maxey just going off from downtown, you would hope that you switch what your defensive premise is, which in this case for the Knicks, hey, we're going to protect the paint. All right, let's scratch that. It doesn't matter what we're doing. We can't protect the paint tonight. Absolutely cannot. Let's stop the three at least. Let's just figure out a way to double Maxey if not even double, but if Embiid is saying the screen, don't even hedge. Show it the level. Stop him. Don't give him any airspace. And we didn't do that. Like, he was just shooting wide open threes,
too comfortable, man.
Wide open threes. Same thing with Edgeco, man. We're just giving up wide open threes, and it's nauseating at this point, man. And this is the same issue that we saw last year. I feel like it's even worse this year just because opponents are having like extra time to put up a three. I don't know why, but it just feels like that. When I'm watching opponents, doesn't matter who it is, they're just catching the ball, finding the laces, and then taking their time to put up a shot, man. That needs to be addressed. That I understand that Mike Brown wants to stop guys from getting into the paint, but we also have to like live with something. And at this point, with the way that players are able to shoot threes, I think it makes more sense to stop players who are good at shooting threes at this point than give him any chance of going that rather than defending the rim at a high level.
Got another super chat coming in. $5 super chat from Philo PR 6100. $5 super chat says, "We are tired. That's all." Hey, we certainly are. However, the schedule is not giving the Knicks any time off. There are no times off, Al, until All-Star break. And by the way, you got to go to Detroit. And by the way, pack your bags as you're going out west for a couple as well. So it's just good. We just getting started. As we said, after the NBA Cup, the schedule was going to start to get tougher. Now, unfortunately, they won the Cup. And so he added a couple more games to the schedule, a couple more travel, and it is what it is. You got to fight your way through it. You got to box your way out of this thing. So we'll see what they're made of. It's a little adversity time. I like it. Shout out Lord Steven Sohn. $5 super chat says, "This week was horrible for the Knicks. Defense is such a big weakness. Next week, we need to figure things out for the Pistons game." Yes, we do, sir. We got 2 days to figure it out, and they got better do it fast. Better do it fast, man. Okay. Let's get to the phones, and then we'll get to the key stats of the night. Knicks Fix, you up next on the Members Lounge. Knicks Fix, how you feel?
CP, Alex, what's going on, fellas?
Good. How you feeling, man?
What up?
What up, man? Yo, that was embarrassing, right? Like, a couple of quick points I want to make tonight, man. Deuce has to play the point of attack on defense, period. Mikal can't play. You know what the difference between Deuce and Mikal is? When you play the point of attack, you have to be able to get in the other team's jersey. You got to get in their chest and make them uncomfortable. Mikal doesn't do that. He relies on his length, his lankiness, and he doesn't get across those screens quickly. And that's where the problem is coming. We saw last year when Mikal plays point of attack that we were getting burnt, man. Now, if you play Deuce, that at least slows down the opposing guards. De'Aaron Fox burned us, Jalen Johnson burned us, and now tonight was Maxey. That's the first thing. Deuce has to play. If Hart is out, Deuce got to be in the starting lineup. You can't go to double big lineup tonight. I don't know why we did that. The second thing is the rotations are off, man. Like, totally off. Kolek is the first guard off the bench, period. Right? It's Kolek, it's Clarkson, it's Mitch, and it's got to be Diawara because he's starting to show you that he gives you at least something on both ends. I don't know why we're playing Yabu. Maybe we're trying to play up the trade value, but it's got to be Kolek off the bench because you got to give him. Tonight, we brought McCullers off the bench before we played Kolek, man.
Yeah, that's where things get tricky, and they needed some playmaking. They needed ball handling. Just like Mike Brown said, they closed off the Knicks' airspace, and when they do that, it makes the Knicks it exposes the Knicks' lack of ball handling because they are average at best in terms of a team-wide collective. So when a team cuts them off, they're going to see this in the playoffs. So, how he manages that is going to be key. I thought he should have went to Kolek, especially when that team was struggling in the second quarter, and I liked Kolek's minutes tonight way better than he fared the first time around against Philadelphia. I thought the first time around, Philadelphia kind of bullied him. This time around, he was much more aggressive, and that's what the Knicks really needed.
Exactly, man. Like, Exactly, 100% exactly what you just said right there. He's the one that sets up those guys. He puts them in the right spot. He also ups the tempo and gives you a change of pace when he comes off the bench. Two more quick points, man.
Yeah.
What are we doing on the defense, man? Like, we got JB playing at top of the key. They're playing 2-3 zone, and then they're both running to cover Grimes.
Did you see
Tyrese
that?
Maxey
I said,
wide
bro,
open,
what are
bro.
we doing? I said, nah, man. I said, ain't no way. I don't care what zone you playing. I'm not leaving Tyrese Maxey.
Maxey,
Period.
exactly.
I
The
saw
last quick point, man.
JB run over to Quentin
Last-
Grimes, and I saw Clarkson chilling in the middle on Embiid. I said, oh, my God. Maxey wide
Exactly.
open from the top of the key.
Exactly. This has got to come from the top down, man. They got to their defense needs to be addressed. You can't go into the fourth quarter already giving up 100 points night after night after night. And the last thing is, man, Cat, you got to give us more than 2 points to go in, man. Like every half is giving us single-digit numbers, like offensive points going in. You know what I mean? He's got to be more than that. It's got to be 10, 15 going into the half. Stay up, fellas. Let's see what's happening with Detroit.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Well, a night like tonight, Al, you know, it forced the Knicks to have to put the ball on the floor and turn them into shot creators, individuals. And for Cat, it could be a mixed bag. Sometimes he'll take off and he'll score, but if there's contact there, he loses the ball and he hits the deck, forget about it. Your defense is compounded again. How about the one play? Did anybody else in the chat, Al, you tell me, because I saw the turnover from a mile away. You know how, like, you see the turnover coming with the Julius, the spin over?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Who saw when Cat is taking the ball up from end to end, the minute he crossed the half, this was in the second quarter. This is when I was like, yo, we need a point guard out there. The minute he crossed the half court line, I look over to Maria. I said, oh, my God, here we go. It gets ripped by Quentin Grimes. They go the other way and they dunk the ball. I said, bro, pass the ball to a guard. This is what I mean, man. Like self-inflicted turnovers. We don't need that. We don't need it, bro.
He wants to be a guard so bad at times.
You know the play I'm talking about?
I know exactly the play that you're talking about. Anytime that he puts the ball on the deck, and I'm like, nah, man. If it's more than 2 dribbles, we are in trouble.
Why? Why do you feel you have to take it upon yourself to be the point guard of the team? All right, man. It's one of those nights, man. Like I said, Al,
You know what? Thank God he didn't do any tweens before he drove against Embiid, man.
Bro, sometimes I just, yeah, that was a little wild, man.
I think I see more gray hairs coming in CP's beard at this point.
Man. That was just crazy. The one says there wasn't a point guard out there. My man, anybody of those 4 people that Karl-Anthony Towns was playing out there had a better chance of bringing the ball up than Karl-Anthony Towns. You had Deuce, you had Clarkson at the time, I think you had Bridges at the time, and you had somebody
those are 3 better guys.
More than
right
enough.
There.
Give it up. But anyway, we digress, man. It's one of those nights, man. Just gotta, man. Just a little reset. Just a little reset, bro. We've been having too much fun. It's time to, get serious, man. Time to get busy.
Yeah, for sure. But all I could do though is laugh at these moments where I'm like, all right, it's just comical at this point where we watch a really good stretch of Knicks basketball. We're like, oh wow, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
No cardiac affair, no nothing. Like, oh, we're in these games, man. We're out here, we're dominating. Now we're in a 3-game skid. And I'm just like, all right, man. Now, what's funny is that it feels like everybody, including the players, are just, we're on a 3-game skid. We got to figure anything out that's going out. Then you see Cat bringing the ball up. You're like, all right, man. We don't need anything. We still need a structure here. We still need some cohesion. Don't do that.
Pressure busting pipes, man. You know how it goes. Remember what I said all season? I said, yeah, things is looking hot. Wait till we go on a 3-game losing streak. Oh, here we are. Here we are. Look at us. So, that's how the season goes, man. Ebbs and flows, a little adversity. It's good. It's a good thing for this team. Smack them around. Man. A little reset,
And they get the ups and downs of the calls where it's like, oh, it looks great. Now it looks like crap. Now it looks great. Now it looks like it goes up and down, man. It's all over the place.
All it takes is a big win on Monday. We back in the championship. That's it, man.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be all right.
I'll be jumping out the window if we beat Detroit.
Tonight we're not contenders. You beat Detroit on Monday. We back in it. We top of the tops. We back
jumping out windows, baby.
We back in it, man. LD on the Discord. Where you at, man? Are you panicking? Or are you off the ledge? You cool?
I'm gonna lighten the mood.
Okay, let's go.
I got a song for you.
Let's go.
It goes dribble, dribble, dribble. Can't you see? Sometimes your dribbles irritate me, and I can't stand your flashy ways. I guess it's why I'm broke and they so paid. Gentlemen,
Yo,
gentlemen,
Happy New Year, man.
I've been trying. Happy New Year to you, right? I've been trying to run this test with you, and tonight's a perfect night to do so. And you've kind of touched on it already, but I'm gonna start by saying this. I'm gonna mention player names, and I want you to tell me if you believe they're coordinated or uncoordinated. You ready? All right. I'm gonna start with the guy who didn't play tonight, Josh Hart.
I think he's very coordinated.
Mitchell Robinson,
Uncoordinated.
Yabusele,
Lost.
OG Anunoby,
Uncoordinated.
Karl-Anthony Towns. Uncoordinated. I'll say it for you. Uncoordinated. Why am I bringing this up?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because when we watch teams like the Sixers, young teams like the Sixers, when we watch the Spurs, I'm going to say this to kind of disagree with Alex's point about Josh Hart's absence being the reason why we lost this game. Because when the Spurs are playing without Wemby, the system doesn't look that drastically different. When they're playing without Fox, the system doesn't look that drastically different. Because the core is, no matter what you're doing, limit the dribbles, move the rock, move around, right? And the reason why I ran that experiment is because we probably still have the most uncoordinated roster in the league. And we have older players. I want to say something specifically about defense. I keep hearing about defense. It's true, but the reality is in the modern NBA, defense is difficult for everybody. In the entire league, there are only two, we're 30 games into the season. There are only two teams with single-digit losses, the Pistons and OKC. Everybody else is losing just like we are whenever they play different matchups because unlike before, you can't just have a star just carry you every night. Any team can win a basketball game. That's just a fact. So I understand that our defense looks terrible, but defense is difficult for everybody in this modern NBA. This loss and the losses that we've had of recent are all Mike Brown and Jalen Brunson. Because it's up to Mike Brown to figure out how do I get this uncoordinated roster to play as coordinated as possible. Whoever wants to disagree can disagree, but when Kolek is on the floor, the uncoordinated players look less uncoordinated. Even Josh Hart, when he's on the floor, the less coordinated players look less uncoordinated because there's ball movement. The ball's moving, right? If you go on the list right now and you look at team dribbles per touch, there are only two teams in the top 10 that are contenders. Every other team is a losing team. The Hornets, the Clippers, who are now kind of turning things around, we're still one of those teams that dribble too much, who are contenders. So Mike Brown has to figure out how to get this uncoordinated roster as coordinated as possible because I think too many Knicks fans don't watch enough NBA basketball because for some reason we think we are the only team with the roster. Every team has a roster now. If Eric Spoelstra has the Wizards, he's taking them to the playoffs. Everybody has depth. Everybody has talent. We have to figure out how to maximize ours. And this is why I was telling y'all, I will celebrate the NBA Cup because folks are already looking at the championship like we're the only ones with the roster. No, it's still the NBA and it's more difficult than ever. Again, there's only two teams with single-digit losses. So this is going to be tough as nails to actually contend for a championship because everybody is playing modern basketball. And it's up to Mike Brown because you know me. I criticize Tom Thibodeau till the cows come home. Mike Brown's been a lot better. The team's been a lot better. But it's up to him to realize, to figure out how to use this uncoordinated team to get the best coordination out of them. Because if not, I mentioned this before the season started. On this show, I said I would not count out the Philly Sixers. Because without Paul George and Embiid, they can at least get into the playoffs with the roster that they have. If those dudes do play, which I don't really expect them to play in the playoffs anyway because they're always injured, I'm not saying they will beat the Knicks. It's still a challenge, though. And I think we got too comfortable thinking, you know, championship or bust. It's like, there's teams in the NBA, bruh. You know what I'm saying? There's teams in the NBA. But nonetheless, it's up to Mike Brown.
Okay. All right, man.
It's up to Mike Brown.
Let's rate that call in the chat. I'm seeing a mix of opinions. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. You guys at home, you guys are the judge. It is your show. Rate LD's call. I see some people saying, hey, man, he's on point. I see some people saying, hey, what's he saying? You know what? Hey, you guys be at home. Be the judge. I want to, real quick, on the offensive issue to what he's saying, I want to play a clip that you sent me from Mike Brown, Al, and then let's talk about it on the other side. So here is Mike Brown on the offense and what he saw here in this game. Here was Mike Brown. Here we go.
Now our pace is not good. We're walking the ball up almost every time. At least 2 games, these last 2 games, our staples, our pace in the full court and the front court. We want to space the floor correctly. We want to make quick decisions. We want to touch the paint, and we want the ball getting reversed. And we haven't seen a lot of any of that. It's a lot of front side actions that are happening, and if we don't have anything on the front side, it's almost like we're dead in the water. We don't know what's next. We can't get to the play after the play, and that's something that we have to figure out sooner than later. Now our pace.
Now, Al, LD said he disagreed with you on the Hart point, but I kind of feel like what Brown is talking about here, Hart helped a tremendous deal when you talk about pushing the pace on the fast break, in the full court, getting the play to the next play. Like Hart being the connector, I think we kind of overlooked that. Like we lost a triple-double guy potential in our lineup. It helps with the Knicks' lack of overall playmaking on the team. And whether or not you want to take Brunson to task, I think Hart kind of being that bailout guy. When the Knicks get put on 2 on-the-ball situations. Look at the last 2 nights, how sloppy it's been. Josh Hart covers us in that regard.
Look, how about the times where, let's say it's Brunson driving, you need a release valve. He kicks it out to Hart. Hart drives again, right, gets downhill, then collapses and does the reverse that Mike Brown's talking about. That's what he's looking for, man. And there's not a lot of guys on this team that really does it to a high level. And look, Hart doesn't have like the dribble package like a Maxey or anything like that, but he's strong and coordinated enough that when he gets downhill, he's able to do everything that Mike Brown is asking in that presser, man. And bringing the pace, reversing the ball around, working front side. He helps get all those things done. That's why I just think he's just a critical part that's missing, man. Like, I get what LD's saying, but at the end of the day, this team doesn't have what he's asking for. Like LD's saying, hey, we have guys that are uncoordinated, all this. Well, this is the roster that we have. So like, you're not going to get these guys to be like Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe and like guys who just really move at that type of level. So you got to work with what you got. And unfortunately, this team, as I said earlier, it's so top heavy still. The fact that you cannot miss any one of those guys. You cannot go games without Brunson. You can't go games without Cat. You can't go games without Hart, Bridges, OG, anybody. Even Mitch, man. Like all these guys bring something to the table that somebody else doesn't replicate what they can do. Like nobody's gonna be like Mitch guarding the perimeter and guarding the paint at a high level and being an offensive rebounding machine. Right? No one's going to be that guy who works as a big man that can space the floor, drive, work the paint, all that stuff like Cat. We do not have guys that overlap in that type of dimension. Yeah. That's why it's so important that this team needs to stay healthy, and that's why this team looks out of whack, man. Defense was bad too when OG was gone. It wasn't great. They made it through, but it wasn't looking great either.
Once again, this is Knicks post-game live. CP the Fanchise, Alex Trataros on the 1s and 2s. Salute to everybody in the chat. Hey, hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. Knicks lost, but hey, we're still winners here at KnicksFanTV, especially if you guys are watching on a Saturday night. You could be doing anything with your time. You could be out and about. You could be, doing your thing. It's 11:30 on a Saturday night. We appreciate you guys. So hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. Knicks got cooked tonight at the Garden, so we are having a airing of grievances, if you will. to figure out how to get this team back on track before they head into the belly of the beast on Monday against the Detroit Pistons. Tyrese Maxey with a game-high 36 points was absolutely sensational. Sixers also got really good performances by VJ Edgecombe and Joel Embiid, who both had 26 points apiece. Paul George chipping in for 15 for the Knicks. You had Jalen Brunson, 31 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Karl-Anthony Towns, 23 points, 14 rebounds. Deuce McBride with 20 points, 5 boards, and 2 steals. Knicks have now lost 3 in a row. Let's get into the key stats of the night, Al. Sixers shooting 54% from the field, including 50% from 3 at halftime. They would finish shooting 47% from 3. So, as I mentioned, all of the individual high scores for the Sixers, but as a team, offensively, there was just no resistance. So, for the Knicks, 40% from 3 and 43% from the field. Knicks did shoot 84% from the free throw line compared to 65% for the Sixers. Knicks lost the rebounding battle, 47-44. The assist battle, Sixers won that by 25-23. It's the turnovers, as I spoke about. That was one of my big ones, man. 16 Knicks turnovers led to 25 Sixer points, and 14 Sixer turnovers led to 20 Knicks points. Points in the paint out, Knicks got schooled, 54-32 once again. And largest lead of the night, 19 for the Sixers, 5 for the Knicks. Sixers a commanding lead, 80% of this game. The key stats of the night, man. Your thoughts?
Yeah, once that second quarter came around, there was no looking back, man. We didn't have a chance. But, big things for me, man. Points in the paint. We talked about rim pressure, man, and how in this one we don't really have perimeter defense. We didn't have any rim protection either. Sixers getting 54 points in the paint is not a great look for this team. And when I look at some of the numbers of what they do, CP, and going to clean the glass, so just for people out there, there's frequency and there's accuracy. Frequency is just how many times is when I'm looking at defensive shooting, how many times does the team allow somebody to get into the paint to just get an attempt at the rim is what I'm looking at. The Knicks currently rank 22nd in the NBA. So they are one of the worst teams when it comes to giving resistance for teams to take shot attempts in the around the rim. Now, granted, they are actually one of the better teams limiting opponents from shooting at the rim, but still, they just allow a lot of people to get into the paint and then spread out those passes, man, to find guys open on the perimeter. And so just seeing that tonight, because one, you get the 54 points in the paint, and then coinciding with that, you get 47% from downtown. So everything that we've talked about early today, man, just getting those paint touches and then knocking down threes. The Knicks defense was just god-awful today. Doesn't even matter that the Knicks had 22 second-chance opportunities, 22 second-chance opportunity points, 54 points in the paint, Sixers shooting 54% from the field. You're just giving them a green light to do whatever they want, man. They didn't have to work for boards tonight. They didn't have to do that much work at all. And what's crazy, too, is that even though they won the rebounding battle and the Knicks only lost by 3, that's still even disgraceful, man, because they're just shooting so well.
Yeah, for me, it was the 47% from downtown. It's, again, the theme that we talked about. We opened this week talking about how terrible the Knicks' three-point defense is, and tonight it was no different. From Tyrese Maxey absolutely destroying the Knicks, especially in drop coverage. You had back-to-back plays with Paul George. Like Maxey is one thing at the point of attack, but even off the ball, the miscommunication with OG and Cat, Paul George, just a simple pop out for 3, and his man setting a screen, and the Knicks just being totally late in getting there or communicating this to switch to make sure that you're running off a great three-point shooter who, by the way, is wide open. So these are the things. These are the issues that continue to bedevil the Knicks. And 47% from downtown is unacceptable, especially when you look at how the Knicks were giving up those threes. To me, that's an effort thing. And that's what they need to tighten up. But they tired legs from the night before. Okay, I'll give you that. But on a whole, these things, it's not just tonight. These things have been pretty consistent, which is why the Knicks defense is in the state that it's in. So we got to tighten up here. All right, but either way, man, key stats of the night, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you guys by KnicksFanTV.com, man. Head over to KnicksFanTV.com, your one-stop shop for KFTV merch. That's right, man. If you guys are looking for KFTV merch, whether it's hoodies, bundles, the bundles are doing very well, man. Shop the bundle packs where you can get more bang for your buck, whether it's a hoodie, a hat, and a towel, t-shirt, sticker pack, and a towel. Head over to KnicksFanTV.com right now. Shop your bundle packs. You also have new Replay Gang merch. We will have our 100K subscriber t-shirt coming up soon. Gritty tees. It's all there for you, KFTV.com. And then on top of that, you can also, at the top here, you can click on newsletter, and that's where you have outstanding write-ups by our KnicksFanTV.com team. KFTV Jeff, KFTV Omar, Remy's recaps, Alex. Shout out to the entire team that contributes here on a regular basis, man. Some really good writing here. So make sure you guys check us out. And the newsletter is a way to not only tap in with what our .com team is writing about, but also to stay up to speed on KFTV events like our watch parties, our events, our out-of-town meetups, and things of that nature. So when you go to KnicksFanTV.com and you click on newsletter, you just drop your email in here, and there you go. You get it in there for free. We don't spam your email box or anything like that. Just straight quality content whenever it comes about, and news about Knicks Fan TV. So that's just another way to keep up with us, because you just never know. One day, hey, YouTube might be down, another platform might be down, but your email might be up, and that's a great way for us to keep in contact. So we encourage you guys to head over to KnicksFanTV.com, sign up for the newsletter, shop your merch, get your hoodies out while it's still cold out. And we got you guys covered. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's get to the calls, man. Let us know why you're mad. We in here. Members Lounge. Let's go to India. Ashwin, how you feeling, man? How you feeling? Ashwin from India. Do we have Ashwin going once?
CP, am I audible?
Yes. Keep going. I'll keep you posted. Keep going.
Okay. So I think what's happening is personally, because when our offense was flowing quite well, our defense was also going well with that. And when our offense is shutting down, then that is completely discouraging our players, and they have no rhythm in defense. Because these are the exact same player who took our defense up to 9th best defense in NBA, right? But now it has fallen like for past 6-7 games. It's been like bottom 5 in the NBA. So I think the offense, because of the lack of offense, it's happening there. And I think teams have figured out what to do with our team. I think you might have noticed like other teams are guarding Jalen Brunson like they are trying to save their own lives, right? They're either always sending two after him. They're not letting him play at all. In spite of that, he's scoring something above 20 plus, 25 plus he's scoring. But in the main clutch times and in the main momentum times, they're not letting him play at all. And when he is not generating offense, then you see how others are doing against other good defensive teams. Right, because if it's Wizards or other thing like Cat can score and OG, it becomes easier to score. But with good teams, when Jalen Brunson is shut down, no one can. And when no one can bring the offense, the defense is closing. And I think, like I said before, we are going too much away from our identity. Like even in the clutch times, when no one has offense, the ball should be in Jalen Brunson's hand. This team was built so that in clutch time, when team is not too much far ahead, ball should be in Jalen Brunson's hand. We got to 9 points. I know they were sending double teams because teams have sent double teams to Jalen Brunson before. He always dribbles out of that, which creates a clearer 4v3 in offense against the other teams. But this time Jalen Brunson is passing too soon. This is not because he wants to do that. I think because that has been told by the coach to do that. And when he's passing the ball way too soon, before when it's just soft, the double team, then they recover easily. And they guard our other players easily.
Yeah.
So we are going too much away from our identity that Jalen Brunson should score in the momentum moments, in the clutch moments. our team was not built to be great offensively. Yabusele, Clarkson, Cat, they were not brought in to be the best defensive team. So if our identity is to go to be the best offensively and little bit good defensively, then we should do what we did best, what achieved our playoff successes in past year. That was Jalen Brunson with the ball in his hand. Not always, but in the main moments, we are making him too passive. And if he stays this passive up to playoffs, he might lose the touch.
Yeah. Well, listen, the one thing's for sure, when the playoffs come about, when Cap knows that this team is in trouble, he ain't passing the ball. Let's just keep it a bean. And Mike Brown knows, because his job will be on the line. When push comes to shove, Cap is going to get that ball to will his team to victory. He might not even come out in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? All this, rotation cutesy stuff is going out the window in the playoffs. It's Cap or nothing. But you speak to a point where it's like, I'm watching early in this game just a simple two-man actions between Maxey and Embiid all night that's just cooking. Like, we need that with Cap and Cat. We need that. We keep calling for this second year in a row, and it just seems extremely difficult. And to see the way that Karl has to fight for his points, it has a cascading effect on everything. Because if he has to demand the ball down low, he's forcing the issue, missing the shots, he heads into the third row. Now you got 5-on-4 transition. Okay, now they bury a three on you. Like, now you're losing points in the other end. Mm-hmm. It's tough, man.
Absolutely tough. But this is something that's been going on, CP. Even when Brunson came in, we had Julius on the team. We've never seen a legitimate two-man game between our top two players. And that's just baffling at this point. Like, how do you not figure out how to get both these guys engaged? I mean, point guard, center, pick and roll. Like, that's like, it's right there. Like, there, like, what else is there to do? The pick and roll is used so many times in the modern NBA. We don't really utilize it that often between our two best players. And I feel like that's just something to get both these guys just better looks. And it's not working, and they don't do it.
STG Nick with the Garden Report. How you feeling, man? How was it tonight, man?
It was not good. It was the second night in a row where it was kind of almost a bum night. Last night there was booze, though, against the Hawks.
Yeah.
And that second
I like
quarter.
that.
Me too, for sure. Tonight there was no booze. But it was the same, maybe because there was a Saturday crowd, a little bit more kids in there.
Okay.
But overall, though, I thought the game kind of was similar in the sense that the Knicks started off kind of solidly, and then they kind of lost it in that second quarter. They got outscored pretty good tonight in the second. The same thing last night before trying to make a little bit of a Knicks comeback there at the end, but just falling up short. But kind of going off like the last point you guys were talking about, the two-man game. Yeah, it would be nice because I feel like every time Karl gets the ball, it's just like he's got to fight for his points. Like, he had a nice and one there on Embiid in like the third or fourth quarter. He woke up a little bit in the second half. He only went into the second half with only 2 points, but he finished the game with like 23. So he had 21 in the second half. But yeah, it feels like it's hard to get him going. And he's not a guy you could just he's not the best ISO player, because at least before with Julius, Jalen give it to him and he can create for himself. He can also create for others. Whereas like Towns is a little bit different. I feel like you really got to get him more so in actions, whether if it's a screen and roll, pick and pop, just something. Because like you said, you give him the ball down low, he's going to back down, and he's going to go up. There's going to be a lot of contact. Might get the call, might not, and then he's going to argue, and then it's a 4-on-5, and that just happens. But yeah, they definitely miss Josh, but you can't really use that as an excuse. I think still, I also thought another thing too is like, I don't know what you guys thought, but I thought the effort too, like that's one thing I can't stand is like when the effort's not there. And I thought in that fourth quarter, I thought there was some chances there, like when the effort, especially late in the fourth, when the game was pretty much done, like they let Embiid get a dunk and like no one's on the other end. Like I don't know, it's just like little things like that. It shows like you got to fight till the final buzzer.
Well, 2 nights in a row, you have what we would call the fake Knick comeback. It rears its ugly head at certain points in the season. It happened last night against the Hawks. where it's just like, oh, now it's 8 minutes left in the fourth. Now they want to like start tightening up on things, but it's too late, man. You're in an uphill battle. This team is already in a groove. It's too late. You might as well just pack your bag and head home. Start out the gates better, and you won't have to fight for your life at the end.
Fascinating concept you got there.
STG, shout out to you, man.
See you guys.
We'll fight to see another one, man. STG, you going to Detroit?
No, I'm not going to Detroit,
Okay.
but I did make my plans to go out on the West Coast in March, to Denver and then both to LA back to back.
All right, yeah, I'm making a plan for Denver as well, man. So we'll make sure we'll connect. We'll figure it out as we get closer. But I'm making my plans for Denver as well.
Awesome, sounds good.
Yep, STG Nick. Al, we out to Denver, man.
Denver, baby.
Yeah, we out to Denver, man.
Snowmobiles.
That's the plan. That's the plan.
Snowmobiles first, then the next game.
That's it. On the straight to the arena from the snowmobile. I'll leave it outside. You know?
Why leave it outside? Just bring it in the arena.
I'll leave it out.
Bring it right through the door, baby.
I'll leave it outside. Yeah, to SDG's point, I want to look at that second quarter when they got into a little bit of trouble. So Philly had a 1-point lead. I'm just looking at some stuff here on a play-by-play. And 1-point lead. I mean, there's still a game was within tow. Okay, well, by the time Tyler gets in, Philly went from a 1-point lead in the second quarter to an 8-point lead. I said, my point is, I'd like to see Towns play with Tyler. I'd like to see Towns play with Tyler, man. He needs a playmaker, and every time they get in pick and roll actions, Al, it's magic, right?
It is magic. It's easy. It's seamless. It's like, oh wow, what a concept. Why don't we do this more often, man? I don't know. I feel like the offense gets too complicated at times, but for them, like it's tough because for the most part, the offense has been seamless when we see that there's enough cutting and just guys moving around looking for open shots. And I just think it's just look. It goes back to Josh Hart, man. Just missing another guy that does that. It's just, cutting is an art. Cutting, just being able to find those open lanes and spaces just to get easy layups, that's an art. Yeah. And not everybody's capable of doing that. We've seen that throughout the entire league, man. We've seen that throughout history watching the NBA. So we can ask for guys to do that. We can ask for, better cutting. I know we're talking strictly about Karl-Anthony Towns being with a point guard. But in this instance, just getting Cat better looks. Yes, this team could be better about getting him better looks. But for the most part, this offense does hum nicely once everybody's healthy and everyone's out there. We see a lot of ball movement, man. We see a lot of off-ball movement as well.
They have to save him from himself. I get it. Yeah, at times when he can put the ball on the floor and force the issue, it's nice. But again, when he's hitting the deck, which is 8 times out of 10, Al, let's keep it a bean. Every time he takes off, he's going to hit the ground. So if he's not getting the call, you're hurting your defense again. Pick and pop situation, pick and roll situation. Get him nicely going downhill with Tyler, thread the needle to him, and get him something semi-easy or easier than what he's doing right now. That's a lot of energy. Then when he's crying to the refs, that's more energy, and then it's more energy when they're giving up points on the other end. It's a calamity right now, man. Let's hear from Mikal Bridges in the locker room. Let me test out this S&Y audio, make sure it's good. This is Mikal Bridges on the defense tonight. Here we go.
What are you seeing on the defense?
Hey, hang on. Yeah, it's sounding kind of low. I don't know if I can get this. Hang on. See how loud we can get it to. Here we go.
Just what are you seeing on the defensive end? There's a lot of games where teams are scoring 120, 130 in that range. What are you seeing that's been, I guess, responsible for the slippage on that end?
I think just the effort. I think the initial effort might be there, but I think just making plays after, the second effort, I think is not there.
All right, so Mikal says second effort's not there. Okay, all right. So that's Mikal Bridges. JG on the Discord. JG, how you feeling, man?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good, man. How you feel tonight?
Frustrating loss.
Yeah.
There are a few things that really stuck out to me tonight, and obviously everybody's harping on the point of attack defense, which is just atrocious. And I really it was very exemplified in this game, but it happens all the time where On one end, we're on defense. They're setting screens tonight for Maxey all night. We can't get around him. We're going under him. He's wide open every time. And then on the other end, when we try to set screens for Brunson, Edgecombe's glued to him, and somehow it doesn't affect him at all in the slightest. And he's just glued to Brunson's hip, and I don't understand why on one end we can't defend it at all.
Yeah.
But it seems like every other team is just sticking
Lost.
to Brunson, and it's no one can create space for Brunson off screens, but it's just on the other end we just have no idea what to do. And I mean, it's a huge problem. They need to figure that out. And on top of that, it's the second night in a row where, if you guys heard during Allen's halftime interview with Rick Brunson, where Rick Brunson's like shots are affecting guys' mindsets or mentioned something along those lines.
He said have fun,
Brunson,
right? He said have fun.
And have fun. And Jalen Brunson said that last night after the game also, where he was like, guys might be getting their minds affected, from missing shots. It's like, that can't happen.
Yeah.
You're not going to make every shot, and that's fine. You don't need to make every shot. But it can't be affecting your effort on defense when you're giving up 130 points every night.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that was bad. And then even on the broadcast, at one point in the game, Knicks got a steal, passed it to Brunson ahead, and Brunson ended up getting fouled on the play on the fast break. But there were like 3 Sixers back.
Yes,
and
Sixers
and Allen
swarmed them, absolutely swarmed them.
Yeah, it was. And, Allen mentioned, he was like, there are 3 Sixers back, and there's no one else on the Knicks running back with Brunson to help him on offense, try to get an easier bucket. And it's like, who wants it more at the end of the day? Like, you gotta like, I know there were some iffy calls, and we all want Cat to get more calls than he does, but like, for everybody. But at the end of the day, you can't be complaining. You got to run back. I mean, you're not going to beat teams like this, especially the Sixers, who, I mean, Maxey looks like he gets shot out of a cannon every time he's running up the court.
He was great.
I mean, he's phenomenal, and he's ridiculously fast, and obviously stop guys like that. I think he's like 3rd in the league in scoring right now. But
yeah,
you gotta show more effort. The defense needs to be more disciplined, and I do agree with you guys. I think Hart coming back just from a physicality standpoint will up to some extent, but even when he was there, we still giving up a lot of points. They got to figure that out.
Got to tighten up. JG, Happy New Year. JG on the Discord. Rate that call in the chat. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. So to our franchise channel members in the chat out. If you guys are a franchise channel member, leave us a comment in the chat, and we will shout you guys out as well. Okay? Speaking of franchise channel members out, I saw my man last night at the watch party, Cliff Clerval. In the building, 8149, drops us a $12 super chat. He says, another depressing night. I'm headed to the matchup in Philly in a couple weeks, and I'm worried. LOL, I'll try to give you the stadium report when I'm out there. Let's go, Knicks. Yeah, Cliff, you might as well you give the stadium report when you get to New York. Don't give the stadium report from Philly if we win, man. First thing in order of business, when you beat the Sixers in Philly, you leave the arena and get home first. Then you give us the stadium report. So you make sure safety first. Then extracurriculars. Safety first. He also says Cat, the most uncoordinated player ever. Yeah. Pretty much, man. But he's our guy. He's a special guy, man. He's our guy. It's one of those nights. Just a little reset, a little straightening, and we good, man. Al, who you want to shout out in the chat, man?
Well, shout out to our guy, JJ, man, always in here with us. Shout out to you for being a franchise channel member. We got Timothy Dantzler in here. We got Ward Steven Stone. Shout out to our guy, TM, man, the chief mod in operation. We got Armin Duda in here as well. We got Coach Rubens. Appreciate you.
Salute,
we got
Coach.
Flo. Shout out to Flo. We got Vic from the Sty. We got Mellow Mike. We got Rare Edition. Got a couple guys in the chat. Who do you want to shout out, man?
I want to shout out everybody, man. It's New Year's, I'm still saying Happy New Year. I'm gonna just keep saying it till I stop, till I don't feel like saying it. I'm gonna just keep saying it, man. Happy New Year to everybody.
December 31st, 2026. Happy New Year.
Yeah, I usually go late with my Happy New Year's. You know what I mean? Especially
what's the latest you go?
I mean, I kind of just, you go.
Are you a March guy? You're gonna keep saying Happy New Year?
But it's like a feel type of thing, kind of like that, like second, maybe third week of January, depending on if you hadn't heard from somebody in a long time. You know what I'm saying? You still drop them a little Happy New Year thing.
So if you haven't spoken to somebody, let's say since last year, and you didn't speak to them in April, you're saying Happy New Year? Is that what you're telling me, man?
Nah. Like it's like January, second week of January is kind of the cutoff ish. But again, like I might take it into that if I hadn't seen the person in mad long. You know what I mean? That type of thing. Yeah. You still got your Christmas tree up? What are you doing with that? Yeah.
No, got it up, man.
Yeah. I told Little Man we're gonna go a little week, probably a week longer. We make it stretch a little bit.
Yeah, it's got to go out next week. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
City says, hey, we're not going to do like a whole month of picking this thing up.
Oh, nah. Oh, see, you know, that's what we pay taxes here for in New York, man. That's what those sky-high taxes for. You call them anytime. Hey, listen, man, I'm ready for you to pick up my tree. And then they'll tell you when they're going to come through. So that's what I'm doing. I'll let it stretch, man. You put all the work in and put the joints on, you know, my ornaments, all my Knicks ornaments, my Knicks bear. I got my KFTV ornament, basketballs and whatnot, you know.
When do we get the KFTV ornament, CP?
Oh, I got mine. I'll send you one. I did make one many years ago. We will make one. We'll make one for mass distribution to the people. You know what I mean? Oh,
come on, man. Is it going to be a snow globe? Is it going to be an orb? What, a star? What is it going to be?
Well, the one I made was just like a simple, like, it's a regular, you know, snow globe, man. It's a regular snow globe, man.
All right.
You know, just a regular joint, man. So
CP says it's a regular joint.
Yeah.
Let alone we'll find out that it's a miniature him hanging out by a logo of KTV with the Christmas tree on the side. You shake it up. You got the snow circling around.
Yeah,
okay, man. Okay, we know how you do.
Oh, boy. Salute to everybody in the chat. A couple other updates out. The 100K, first off, the 100K party celebration. We're in the process of planning for the party, and we want everybody there. So we want Knicks Nation from all over the globe to be there. So we're going to plan it actually on a non-game night and on a weekend so that we make sure everybody can attend. We're going to plan a live show, have guests, CK, Alex, JD, everybody, and we're going to make it a whole big thing. So look forward to that in the second half of the season, in the next couple months, actually. And also, Al, the T-shirts. We want everybody's vote on the T-shirts. We're going to put this out on Monday officially, but we are cycling through two different designs right now for the KFTV 100K shirt. So the first one I'm putting up on the screen right now, this is in our standard, you know, orange and blue theme, with the 100K being a bit more distinguished. So obviously you could distinguish that. So it says 100K FTV for the fans, by the fans, with the around it, meaning, you know, this is all of us. This is all of our accomplishment. You know what I mean? This is everybody involved. So I like that meaning. But then I like the gold, man. So the gold 100K FTV kind of signifies the magnitude of the moment. You know what I mean? We'll do a little different, a little go off the beaten path of our normal colorway and go with the gold, black and gold. You know what I'm saying? Excellence here with, again, the for the fans, by the fans, kind of circling around it to indicate our togetherness. A family show for the fans, by the fans. I like that look. Shout out my guy, Tone. So we are holding a vote. You guys let us know tonight on post-game, especially our Fanchise channel members, which version we should go with, the orange and blue or the gold. Al, I'm leaning towards the gold, man. You said the gold earlier, right?
That's right, man. I like the gold for the tradition that we talked about, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's like traditional. It's, you know, the importance, what it signifies. It's just like kind of like I don't know. There's like a royalty behind it.
Yeah. I like that. There's a regality, if you will, a little regal. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I am feeling the gold. But, hey, you know, this is the people's show. We'll get the people what they want. Let us know what you guys think. BX Bangin' says the gold is fire. He says, but give a 2K game fill. But give a 2K game fill. BX Bang, just clarify that a little bit. Somebody said gold. Okay, gold. Got it. Eric L. Beats says go with the gold. Okay. STG says blue and orange. Mellow Mike says blue and orange. So we got ourselves a battle here. So let us know in the comment section. We'll put a comment out after tonight, and you guys let us know what you think. Okay? All right, keeping it rolling. Final calls, rapid fire. Let's go to Abdel0697. Abdel, are you there?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Happy New Year.
Good, man. What's your name? Where are you calling in from, man?
Abdel, and I'm actually a Brooklyn resident, so I'm calling in from Brooklyn.
Nice. BK, how you doing, man?
Could be better, I guess,
Yeah,
given what happened. But I mean, I'm a lifetime Knicks fan. If people think this is dark, I don't know what to tell them.
yeah. Well, we're spoiled, man. We want to see this team winning games and looking good and smacking the fire out of everybody. So, when we get that same treatment, sometimes we don't know how to act. Just a little reset, a little humbling.
Yeah, exactly. I think like a lot of our problems are very fixable. I think it just comes down to effort and communication. For example, the reason the Maxi pick and roll works so effectively is because he pulls the trigger as soon as he goes around that screen, and they don't communicate on who's supposed to pick him up, whether Cat should pick up, whether they should switch. The reason it doesn't work for Brunson, I feel like, is because he likes to drag his opponent after the screen. I think we're shooting a lot of threes that lead to long rebounds, that lead to a
Hurts us.
fast break.
Hurts us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll free up a corner or wing three. I don't think we can get back fast enough as soon as we miss that 3-pointer.
Yeah. Hell, you can't get back fast enough with VJ Edgecombe giving you a head start and him running from 3 feet out of bounds.
I mean, him and Maxey got to be the fastest backcourt I've ever seen in my life.
Easily.
It's just they could play 40 minutes of just full speed running.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I do have a little bit of concerns. I know a lot of people like to pick on Cat because a lot of times he has these nitpick fouls, but I still stand with Cat. I still like him. I think he'll make a shot if he has to.
Yeah. Well, look, we have no choice. Cat's our guy, and the criticism for Cat comes with the expectations that people have, myself included with Cat. You have to have high expectations for him because at the end of the day, you want to see this team winning a championship. It's not about being a good team or being the number one seed in the East. It's about legitimately being able to win the whole thing, and that is very difficult, and you have to be the elite of the elite, especially when it comes to your star players, and so that's where the criticism of Karl-Anthony Towns comes from because it comes from a standpoint of questioning, can he deliver for you when it comes down to those moments? So I think that's really what it's about Towns.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not hitting the panic button or anything yet. We're still second in the East.
Not at all.
I feel like, I still feel like we come out of the East. Like I said, I think it's just the way we're playing right now is a bit more lazy. I feel like in the beginning of the season, Mike Brown has this like 3-second rule where you make a decision within 3 seconds. And I felt like we were really doing that in the beginning of the season. Now I'm seeing the ball stick a little more. I'm not seeing much off-ball action, no screens, no cuts.
Yeah.
It's kind of one-on-one every possession. So I think like a couple of film session with the Knicks and, we could be back into full gear. And, I could see like a little 5-win streak coming up.
Appreciate the call, man. Tired legs, tired minds. It looked good early because they were fresher. Now you got to dig deep. So little adversity, and we'll see how they adjust, how they adapt. LP on the Discord. LP, rapid fire. Let's go.
Yo, CP, what's up, man? Can you hear me?
Good,
Alex, what's good, yo?
How you doing?
Yo, doing good, man. Yo, CP, I called it the other night. Make it real quick. I missed you the other night, man, for the San Antonio Knicks game. I know that's an old game, but a couple margaritas, man. I didn't want to call in, man. I didn't want to sound crazy. I didn't call. But tonight's game, man, I don't know, man. The Knicks don't play good on back-to-backs. They just don't, man. And then we played Philly the last time in New York on a back-to-back. Then we get them again at home in New York on a back-to-back. So, I mean, it's no excuses. I know that's part of the league and all that, but I just kind of be real with you. I expected us to lose. I was like, this is a back-to-back, and they're not going to probably win tonight. So that's kind of how I had my mindset. Just being a realistic Knicks fan, that's all. That's just, but everybody's panicking and tripping. It's going to be all right. I mean, it's just a little 3-game losing streak. We should have beat the Spurs, by the way, but they didn't do it. But yeah, that's really it, CP and Alex, man. They should have, it's just a back-to-back thing. They just going to have to just regroup, and that's it. And I think, and I know I hear you guys talk about the French guy. I think he's really gonna turn around, though. I don't know why. I think if they just hang on with him, number 28. I don't want to pronounce his name wrong. I think he'll be all right, though. I think he's gonna be straight, though. And then, CP, man, I heard the playback of the Knicks and San Antonio game. Man, Michael White, shout out to
shout out Michael White, man. Tell
yo,
him like it
he's
was.
real country, man.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, we got Knicks fans all over. I was like, you sure he ain't a Spurs fan or a Texas or a Mavericks?
Yeah.
Man, I was looking at you and Alex, y'all were just cracking up, man. I was like, yo, it was funny, man. But, yo, shout out to Michael White, though, man.
Yes, sir.
He's all right.
Salute to you, LP, on the Discord. Hang in there, man. Hang in there, LP, on the Discord. All right, Ari, go ahead and close us out. Ari from Manhattan, closing us out tonight.
Yo, it was good. Salute CP, Alex.
How you feel, man?
I'm good. You hear me? All right?
Loud and clear, man.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not panicking, but you lose 3 games in a row. It's not something that's good. You want to kind of stop that from happening, but it's not the end of the world. I'm more upset with Mickey 5 picks. I think he's absolutely awful. Every single night he gets abused on defense. He doesn't hit shots. He doesn't create any offense. Can't guard the point of attack. Doesn't take free throws. Doesn't hustle. Like, what does this guy do? Like, what does he do? If he can't hit an open jump shot, if he can't create offense or play make, if he can't guard the point of attack, can't draw free throws, what does this guy do? Why did we give up 5 picks for this guy? Why are we paying him so much money? Why do we have such low expectations as a 4th option in this? It's ridiculous. Like, we miss Josh Hart. And we shouldn't be a team that misses Josh Hart. Right?
Okay.
We should be good enough to not miss Josh Hart. But
he's right. He's right. He's right.
Yeah, he play makes Josh Hart, right? He hustles. He at least plays with energy. I didn't like the effort tonight, like you did. I'm with you on that. He's a triple-double guy, but at least he gives you something. Like, if Mikhail's not going to hit jump shots, then you might as well just have Josh Hart out there, because he's probably not going to hit jump shots, but he gives you everything else. Transition, all this stuff, right? But, like, listen, man, you're not going to win every game. I'm not panicking. But the point of attack defense, I've been saying this before everybody been saying this. I've been saying this at the beginning of the year. This is the issue. This is the issue from last year. I thought Deuce would help. He got abused today.
Yeah, Deuce. Maxey cooked Deuce tonight. Let's be real. Deuce got filleted tonight.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Max is going to cook a lot of people, but you got to make it difficult. You got to make it difficult for him. Deuce didn't do that. Deuce lacks height. The Knicks need a 6'6", 6'7" guy who can get in your chest and guard the point of attack and at least make it difficult for these guys.
Yeah.
And if Mikhail's not going to do that, OG's a different kind of two-way player, so it's not really on him. Josh Hart's not capable either. That's the issue. So I don't know if there's a guy at the deadline we could get. I don't know. But that is the issue, because that's why we give up threes. That's why we can't stop anybody, and that's why we lost. I landed here, though. Typically, the Knicks will – like, Brunson was good, right? You could count on Brunson, but Pat wasn't particularly good. Neither was OG. Neither was the 5-pick brick, right? Clarkson wasn't really either, right? Like, none of the guys. But I mean, listen, he's a 5-pick brick, bro. He makes me miss RJ sometimes. At least RJ got to the rim, bro. Like, what are we like? You know what I'm saying? I know
he's got some points there, man. He's got some points there, man.
Listen, man, I'm just saying. Nobody played well on offense today for the Knicks. Typically, their offense is the team. It's going to be the thing that propels the team. You need a second guy, but we got to figure out that point of attack defense. But I appreciate it, bro. And the gold, by the way, the gold is fire, bro.
Yes.
So appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, Ari from Manhattan. Rate that call in the chat. Good people in the chat. That's our guy Ari, man. He called him the 5-pick brick. Now McCall's been very efficient now, but I do gotta give Ari some points here. Where it's like a night like tonight, you paid 5 picks for the guy. Do we really need to be saying we need Josh? You should be out there getting busy. Gotta be out there getting busy, bro.
Ari's right about that, man. There's no question about that. He's right about that. But then this is what's difficult, man. Bridges didn't say, "Yo, trade 5 picks for me." That was the Knicks' decision.
Yeah, that's
true.
So
then you got to look at the front office and say, "Hey, yo, front office, why did you trade 5 picks for this guy where he's supposed to be?" Because this is the conundrum when you start looking at Towns and Bridges, right? Both the value that they're earning or you gave up to get them. The Bridges contract is not bad. It's the value you gave up to go get him And then for Cat, he's literally making $50 million this year. Will end his tenure or end, this contract that he currently has with the Knicks, making 60.
Yeah.
And when both these guys can just vanish when you need them based on what you paid for them, that's a little concerning, man. It's a little concerning. You should not have to say, well, we're having a conversation is, yo, we really need Josh Hart back right now. Or quite frankly, for any one of these guys, like, even if Brunson goes down for a little bit of time, you should be pretty confident that based on both Bridges and Cat, they should win some good amount of games, man.
He said 5 pick brick. I see a couple. I see a 5. I see 1s. But I think the point is with him, he's just too nice, bro. He's too nice. He doesn't consistently have that takeover mentality where, look, some nights it's nice for him to play his role, and some nights when different guys, Cap is Cap and Cat is Cat and OG has it going, and sometimes they may get into a little bit of a rut offensively. Mikal can be that bailout guy. Sometimes you need him to push that button. And he doesn't do it until it's like, all right, there is no JB, there is no Cat. I have to do this tonight. But on a night like tonight, the opportunity was there. And he just didn't seize it. He didn't seize it tonight. So, we'll see what happens on Monday when they go into the belly of the beast. Let's get into a little more theatrics. They lost the game, man. Forget these guys. Let's get into some theatrics. Al, did you see this guy? We talked about a couple things. You know what? Let me start with this first. Let's get to the theatrics. I'm done talking about why this team lost and the defense stinks. They better bounce back Monday. We'll talk about. We'll pick this. We'll pick up back on our terrible defense. Actually, tomorrow on Knicks Weekly. Sunday, we got a couple more hours till Knicks Weekly, and then we'll get to Monday. So let's get to a couple things here, man. Let's get to the theatrics first and foremost. Bro, did you see this guy on courtside tonight on MSG? Did you watch the MSG feed?
Yes.
Did you see this guy tonight? This was an abomination. Did you see Sergeant Source's courtside baseline tonight? Ooh. What I tell you about the suits he be rocking? Looking like he's stepping into Easter Sunday. Where is the Knick gear? Where is the KFTV gear? Look at this guy. He looks like somebody's storefront pastor that's about to rip you off of your collection plate. He looked like one of them storefront pastors on Flatbush Avenue in Brooklyn. Look at this guy.
Why does he look upset?
Look at this guy. This guy looks like Bishop Lamore Whitehead. What is this? What is this little chain type of thing where you're supposed to put the tie? Look at this guy, man.
I hope he's upset because he's watching the game. I hope he's upset because he's watching the game.
I'll be telling you about this guy's Easter suits. He looks like MSG compliance. And then did anybody see him getting all chummy with Tyrese Maxey when Maxey hit the deck? Did you see that? Oh my God, this guy was an embarrassment tonight. Sergeant Sources, you got a lot of explaining to do, man. We saw you in the open. This is why he never wears Knick games to the games. This is why you can't trust him. You don't know whose side is he on. I think he's just compliance, man. He's taking notes. He always sits close to the Knick bench. He's doling compliance and he's writing notes, sending it up to the top. Don't trust this guy.
Is that what he's doing? He's writing notes to send it to the top?
He's MSG compliance on the low.
Or is he concocting some crazy trade schemes, man?
Yeah.
Is that what he's sending up?
Look at this guy, man.
He's probably trying to convince James Owen, yo, you know what you should do, man? You should trade Mikal Bridges for Giannis Antetokounmpo straight up. They'll do it.
Respect Shaq says, I can fix your credit. I told y'all, man. I told y'all I'm not bugging. Not an orange and blue anything.
That is travesty.
This guy, you can't trust him. You cannot trust him, Al.
The fact that he does the Friday Night Knicks song.
Yeah.
And you're not wearing any orange or blue to this game. That is a travesty.
I mean, you would have thought he wanted to pick Maxey up and carry him to the bench when Maxey hit the deck. If anybody's watching, put this guy under facial recognition and send him packing. I've been trying to get this guy's bags packed for years now. Shout out to sources, man. Call back anytime. But this is just diabolical, Al. We had to call that out. Shout out to my guy Elite for capturing that perfectly. Boy, oh boy. Shameful, man. Shameful. But on the flip side, we had some good things, man. Did you see my guys Christopher Abbott and Ben Stiller at the game tonight, Al?
Yes,
Shout out
sir.
my guy Christopher Abbott, man. Rocking the KFTV through and through. Courtside, baby, with Ben Stiller, man. Shout out to my guys Christopher Abbott. He was rocking the black KFTV, the 3D embroidered beanie. You know what I'm saying? Down there with Stiller, taking in the action. That is how you represent at courtside. Not in your cheap slickster Easter suit like Robert Randolph. Salute to my guys, man.
Oh, man, what are you doing, man? Not a single drop of orange and blue.
I told you, man. I told you, man.
You know what's crazy, too? He could probably just go to MSG, walk into the store at MSG, and choose anything that he wants.
Get whatever you want. Get whatever you want.
But you choose not to.
You know? I've been telling y'all, man. I've been telling y'all about this guy. You know. I've been telling y'all for years, man. I've been telling y'all for years. Anyway,
Thanks
man.
for your support, though.
Yeah. Thanks for your support, man. Call back anytime. I told him, we didn't forget about the Grammy that he won last year in 25. So we got to raise his membership fees. So, everybody's membership fees for 26 will stay the same except for Robert Randolph. He's got to pay that Beyonce tax.
Oh,
and,
damn.
Yeah, we got to situate that. But yeah, we'll work it out. We ain't too hard to find, man. Yeah, man. All right, Al, good show, my guy. I thought we really got to it. Salute to all the mods. Salute to everybody in the chat. Hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. Salute to the Replay Gang. Remember that we are available on all platforms, all audio podcast platforms. So salute to the Replay Gang. And remember, vote for the 100K t-shirt. Is it the gold or is it the orange and blue? Leave us a comment in the comment section. We appreciate you guys. See you tomorrow night. Same time, same place. Peace.